Welcome to the US Kiss Vinyl Reference YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. Welcome back to another installment of the US Kiss Vinyl Reference. I am, as always, your host, Mike Stone. And today, if you've been following along, we are going to talk about double platinum. Yeah, that guy. So, released in April of 1978. First of many compilations over the years. Got a bunch of remix songs on it. One completely re-recorded. And this was the very first Kiss release I ever owned. So it's kind of a special place for me. But we'll get into the U.S. variations of it here shortly. And we even got a couple of 45s to talk about. Not too many, but a couple nonetheless. So it shouldn't be too long of an episode, I wouldn't think. So strap in and let's get going. All right, welcome back. I am Mike Stone, and today we're going to be talking about the different U.S. variations of double platinum and the singles that supported it. Single, actually, there's only one. We've got promos, retails, record clubs, a couple of really rare bastards and whatnot. So let's see, little notes here. It's a 2-record set, of course, kind of a play on the words double platinum, also in the shiny jacket. First of many compilations that Kiss has done over the years. Has several remixed tracks, one re-recorded, and this was my first Kiss release. Sorry about the hole in my shirt there. I'm pretty casual here around the house. Anyway, this was my first Kiss release that I ever got on CD back in 1996. Bought it from the mall in Columbia, Tennessee. If that doesn't kind of give my general geographic upbringing location. I don't live in Tennessee anymore, but many ways, the versions of the songs on this album are the ones that are most comfortable to me. So, it's that kind of record to me. And as we always do when we do these U.S. variations, we start off with promotional copies. So double platinum has a promotional sampler, so to speak. If you recall back to the Destroyer and the Rock and Roll Over episode, hey, got 2 holes. Destroyer and Rock and Roll Over episodes, I had samplers for each of those, and double platinum has a sampler too called A Taste of Platinum. If I can get the thing open. So, as you can see, my jacket has seen better days. For the price that I paid for this, there was no way this was staying in the store. So, this seems to be the rarest of the samplers to find. And just a few short years ago, I found this in a store for $25. It was in the middle of nowhere in a town called Galena, Kansas. And there was an old flea market, about probably not much bigger than the house I'm in, and had a bunch of records stacked up on a table, right? And there was a sticker on top of the records that said records $2 or something like that. Anyway, so if you can imagine the rest of the jacket not being here, I saw about that much of this record sticking out of that pile. And it was about halfway down. It probably had 20 records stacked on top of it. So I lifted up the stack and saw it and couldn't believe what I saw. And I hold the record up to the guy behind the counter. I was like, hey, I said, are these records $2 a piece like the sticker says? And he's like, well, that one's Kiss, so I'm probably going to have to ask about 25 for that one. Fine, you know. Thought he was getting one over on me, but in the end, did he? Anyway, so we got kind of a bare bones jacket. I don't know if the camera picks up on it, but the jacket is a little shiny. Think of like the silver ink on Hotter Than Hell, like that kind of shiny. And we got 4 songs. We got Strutter 78, Do You Love Me, Love Gun, and Firehouse. Strutter 78 is completely re-recorded. Do You Love Me, as far as I can tell, is mostly the same as the album version, along with Love Gun. And then Firehouse is sped up just a hair, and it codas at the end, where we would normally hear the sirens that carry the song out. It starts the beginning of it over again and fades out. So, and plain white inner sleeve. This inner sleeve is pretty dingy and yellow. I have no reason to believe that this is not what originally came inside this jacket. The proper album didn't get a custom inner sleeve anyway, so it didn't even get a company inner sleeve. It came with plain white also. And then the vinyl is on a Filmworks label. As you can see on the left-hand side, it says promotion copy. On the right side, it says not for sale. So there's your promo mark on the label. And then I forgot to point out that the promo mark on the jacket is actually printed on the jacket. It's that red text right there. So, as I said before, of the samplers, this is the hardest one to find generally. And if you get lucky enough to come across this in the store for next to nothing like I did, it's worth picking up, even if it's kind of roached on the jacket like mine. I will say that the record is at least VG plus. I mean, it's in really good shape compared to the cover. I mean, this cover did its job by protecting the record for sure. But Taste of Platinum, hard one to find. All right, now on to the proper album. And this is a promotional copy of the record. So, from a design standpoint, this cover is genius. So we've got a good mylar finish with some embossing. on the front, back, and the gatefold. Now, from what I understand, when this album would have been brand new back in 78, like when this jacket was first printed, the embossing stuck up quite a bit further. But unfortunately, as time goes by, Mylar kind of has a memory and it kind of shrinks up tight, and the emboss loses its rigidity, kind of. So we've got the same image on the front and the back. We'll touch on that here in a second. But it's just a Mylar finish with the KISS logos embossed, red double platinum, got red text on the spine. All right, this particular promo copy has a, there it is, gold stamp. It's hard to read, but loaned for promotional only, not for sale, ownership, and all rights reserved, right? Yep. So the gold stamps started with a Live 2. Most commonly, gold stamps are on the back of the jacket. This is actually on the front. See, the record comes out right here. All right. And from what I have learned is not all promotional copies of Double Platinum come with this track list sticker. So on your retail copies, this track list sticker would have been on the shrink wrap. Some of them got tore off with the shrink wrap and thrown away. Some people peeled the sticker off of the shrink wrap, slapped it onto the jacket. And mine came to me with the track list sticker on the back. So I have seen some people have a promo copy with a track list sticker on the front. However it happens, it happens. All right, we'll open up the gatefold here. Still shiny, and then we've got embossed images of the 4 band members. And then the track listing, which if you're kind of keen here on side 3, you see it starts off with Rock Bottom, which we all know that Rock Bottom was not on the album. The intro of it was tacked onto the front of She. So it's kind of out of order. They're all like that. I mean, is it a misprint? Technically, yes, but there's not a corrected version, so it's worth what a copy of Double Platinum's worth. All right. Plain white inner sleeve. No custom inner sleeves. These first issue and promo issues did not come with a Filmworks inner sleeve. Plain white. And for some reason I'm having trouble getting that stupid thing back in. There we go. All right. Now we'll touch up on the inserts. So first and foremost, we have a merchandise order form, which I'll throw up images here. We got the front and the back. And this merchandise that's on this thing goes for absolutely crazy money nowadays. I mean, if one had, 30 bucks or so, or whatever it costs to get all of this, I mean, you would easily probably make 100 times that by now. So There's your merchandise sheet. And then we get a miniature platinum award. You got a little embossed double platinum cover down here. Little certificate there that many people have signed. Luckily, most of mine are unsigned. I think maybe all of them in my collection are unsigned, but I've come across plenty of signed copies. And then the little platinum record. So, little platinum award. Got all the legal info on the back there. So there is your inserts for double platinum. Sleeve City, USA. These little disc keepers here, they work great for keeping your records in. And most likely, if it fits inside your record jacket, it will fit inside one of these if you wanted to keep it protected. So, if disc keepers would have been around back in 1978, this little chunk out of the Platinum Award you see down here by my pinky, that probably wouldn't be missing. Just rubbing around inside the jacket. So. All right, on to the vinyl. All right, we got a custom label here. You can see it's based on the Filmworks label, and then they kind of give it a little artsy twist to kind of give it a double platinum theme. And then for the promotional mark, if you look over to the left-hand side, it says NBLP 7100-2 DJ. Promotional copy, not for sale, on the left-hand side. So there's your promotional mark on this one. And double platinum is a fairly common promo to find. I've noticed it has gotten a little pricey lately, but I mean, there's always an ebb and a flow with the market value on stuff like this. So, but it's pretty easily obtainable. All right. And then we have another promo copy. So the last one had a gold stamp on the jacket. This one has what we call a saw cut. You can see it right there. Mine happens to be on the spine. I've seen saw cuts on any edge of the jacket, This happens to be on the spine. Again, a track list sticker on the back. I don't see that track list sticker on every promo. I'm lucky enough to have one on both, so yay for me. Got the same inserts as before, so there's no need to pull them out. And then the promo label. And notice on the left it just says NBLP 7002. It doesn't say DJ. But if you notice on the right-hand side up towards the Casablanca logo, you see it says promotional copy, not for sale. So you have a promotional copy on the left and you have a promotional copy on the right. So there's your two label variations for double platinum. And at least two different promo marks. We've got a gold stamp jacket on one of them, and the other one's got a saw cut jacket. So And I would say you could probably find either label with either promo mark. I mean, I don't know that one correlates to the other. All right. Retail copies. Shiny jacket, no promo marks, no cut corners, nothing like that. Track list sticker. I want to say that just about all of my retail copies have track list stickers. I think they do, yeah. As I said before, this was usually on the shrink wrap. Most of them probably just peeled it off and threw it away with the shrink wrap. Some of them stuck them to the jacket, you know. And I actually kind of kept going and going and going until I found jackets with the sticker on them. So, all right, same inner sleeve, same inserts. All right, the label. Notice how all the tracks line up down the left-hand side. We call that left justified. And then for the font to the left and right there, I just kind of keep an eye on that font. I call that a rounded zero. That's the best way I can describe it. So left justified and a rounded zero font. I'm not a big technician when it comes to different fonts. I can't name all that stuff off. I just do what's easiest for me to describe quickly. So, all right, and our next retail copy. Track list sticker. Okay, these line up to the left as well, the tracks. So left justified. And then kind of take a look at the font there on the right and the left hand side. You notice that those zeros are a bit oblong. So you got a rounded zero and then an oblong zero. That was a horrible, horrible hand signal, but that's the best way I can describe those two variations. And I need to upgrade my copy a little bit because the label kind of got folded in when it got pressed. And I just haven't spent any time to look yet. And this copy I actually bought sealed and open, so I'm the one that put the track list sticker on the jacket. I don't keep records sealed. I have one sealed record in my collection. It will always stay that way. And when we get to that particular title, I'll show it and explain why it is sealed and will remain that way. All right, our next retail copy has the track list. Somebody put the track list sticker on the front and at the bottom, which is kind of a weird place. But anyway, Same inserts. And now for the label, which that is not the record I intended to pull out. I guess the last time I messed with it, I got my records in the wrong slot. All right. Now, we'll pretend the last 30 seconds never happened. And for the record, here's the label. And now you notice that the tracks don't really line up on either side. They just are kind of centered off of one another. So we call that center justified. And that's really the only description you need for the label. So those are the 3 retail variations that I know of for the first issue. Only 3 that I know of. I don't know of any others. 2 of them match the promos, the left justified ones. There's a promo for each. One has the text on the left, one has the text on the right. And if you see any on eBay that is missing the red text and they're calling it a misprint, a paper towel, a bottle of rubbing alcohol, in about 10 seconds of your time will do that. So don't pay a ton of money for a misprint, because it's easy to take that red text off. Just figured I'd throw that out there. Moving on to record clubs now. We're going to start off with CRC. There is no such thing as a CRC label for double platinum, not that I've been able to find. The only CRC marking is that sticker right there. Now, I will point out that on the spine, and I'll try to fly in an image here, you can find spines with and without a price code. So if it's got a price code, it will say NBLP-7100-2-$12.98. If it doesn't have a price code, obviously that $12.98 is missing from the spine. You can find a CRC sticker with and without that price code. So that's something to keep your eye out for. Matter of fact, I have both. I don't know that this is going to show up very well, but as you can see, I've got 2 CRC stickers. All right. And then yeah, that's not going to show up well at all. One has the price code, that one on the top, you can see the $12.98. And the one on the bottom, I'm getting way too much of a reflection, but the $12.98's not there. So those can be found both ways. All right. So this one is no price code. And this one is a price code. All right, and then we have another CRC. And the only difference on this one is the size of the sticker. So there's a little sticker with black text versus the more common big sticker with purple text. These little stickers have just kind of been noticed in the last few years. I've seen, I think, Hotter Than Hell, Destroyer. I have Rock and Roll Over and Double Platinum. So, just a neat little thing to find. And we're still on CRCs, but I don't have anything to hold up here. So, I showed the gatefold earlier. Had pictures of all 4 band members. There are versions of the CRCs, and why it's just CRC, I don't know, but not a retail copy hasn't been found like this yet. But there are versions that have Paul and Gene on both sides of the gatefold, as you can see here. There's no Doctor in here. And then there are versions that have Ace and Peter on both sides, as you can see here. Very rare, and I've only seen 3 or 4 of each, maybe. A good friend of mine had a copy for a while, and then he decided to unload it in a sale/trade. And same with another friend of mine. He decided to trade his copy off. So one day I will find one. Hopefully both. To my knowledge, I don't know of anyone that has one of each. Surely if there's somebody out there that has one of each one, hopefully they don't snap their fingers, because they're going to wipe out half of us. So, little Marvel humor there. All right. Moving on to the next record club. We have an RCA this time. And then, there's the gatefold I was talking about. It's got all 4 band members. On the back of the jacket down here at the bottom, I don't know how well that's going to show up, but it says manufactured by RCA Music Service under license, and then goes on to give the street address and all that. And then there's the license number. These shiny jackets are kind of hard to show things on. All right, the label. We have a custom double platinum label. If you notice off to the left-hand side, manufactured by RCA Music Service under license. And it gives the license number. So there is. RCA was always real good about marking their stuff. Columbia House, CRC, whatever you want to call it, not so much. Now, CD, cassette, and 8-track Columbia House, I mean, they marked everything better, CRC, but they even did stuff with a catalog number, and like on cassettes, they did a run with a certain layout on the spine that was easy to spot. So, unfortunately, with vinyl, CRC, Kiss-wise, didn't really do much good. All right, so now we're going on to the polygram reissues, and before I get to this one, that's got the printed UPC on the back, there was a series right before that, between 1983 and 1984. On most titles, there could be a printing plant number, usually a 501, 206, 07, 04, something like that. double platinum did not get a printing plant number. I'm convinced that these are leftover jackets from the first run and, you know, the 78 onward. Now, what can be found on a double platinum copy from 1983 to 1984 is a UPC sticker. That's a sticker right there. That's not printed. All right. So I believe that these mostly came on the shrink and got thrown away when the shrink got ripped off. And I believe that some people either saved that sticker on the jacket or some of them came on the jacket. I'm not sure. So you have the UPC sticker. And then when you get the vinyl out, you now have a Filmworks label. And at the bottom, it gives a Polygram address instead of Casablanca. So manufactured and marketed by Polygram, etc. Then you notice right before manufactured, there's a 53 there. That is a pressing plant number. Identifies where the record was pressed. And then one more thing that I'm going to point out on these copies from 83, 84. Well, there's two more things actually. Filmworks inner sleeve is correct. And then also with the spines. So I don't know if that's going to show up. Notice it just says NBLP 7100-2. And I'm holding it in a way that you can see it and the UPC. So the next is it's got a UPC sticker on it, just like the other one. Polygram Filmworks label, just like the other one. Filmworks inner sleeve, just like the other one. There we go. And now for the spine. It says NBLP 7100-2-1298. So there's a price code. Again, I'm holding that to where you can see the UPC sticker. So that's that Filmworks 2 series from 1983 to 1984. It runs from the debut to Creatures of the Night. And the Elder has not been part of that series because the criteria involved means you need either a UPC sticker and or a printing plant number on the jacket, along with a Filmworks label with a Polygram address at the bottom. And the Elder has never been seen from the U.S. with a Filmworks label at all. So that's a hard set to find if one can complete it. It took me a good 2 solid years, and I basically lived on eBay for a couple of years. All right, moving on to the next reissue. We no longer have a shiny jacket. If you bought double platinum on CD back in the late 80s when it first came out, then this image will look familiar to you because this is what the CD booklet looked like also. That's flat printing. It looks embossed, but it's not embossed. And then you have the tracks printed on the back along with a UPC sticker. You've got 2 cheap plastic inner sleeves. And then you have the same Polygram Filmworks label that came with the Filmworks 2 series. So this Filmworks 3 series, it's still a little tough to complete, but nowhere near as tough as that Filmworks 2 series. And it's probably because the Filmworks 2 series only ran from 1983 to 1984, whereas this Filmworks 3 series ran from 1985 to 1990. So you just had a longer run. All right. Skipping ahead, 2014, Hysteria comes out. It contains most of the band's back catalog, and you have titles that are exclusive to the set. Then you have titles that can be found either in the set or in stores. So this is an exclusive to the Hysteria set, meaning this was not available in a retail situation. You can only get it in the set. So if you bought this outside of the set, then you bought it off the secondary market. So the insert, the Platinum Award, has been recreated. It's all nice and shiny. Got the legal info on the back. A little bit of difference in like the catalog numbers different and all that. On the shrink wrap, there was a UPC sticker. I don't keep shrink wrap on my records, so I saved the sticker. And yeah, I'll have to work at getting that back in there. And I should note that only 1,000 Hysteria sets were made worldwide, so there are only 1,000 copies of this 2014 reissue of Double Platinum. And the vinyl was reissued on a Double Platinum label number 2. Note the Mercury logo down below. That way you don't get confused with a vintage label. And these exclusives have gone for some really good money outside of the set. You know, some people were wanting to get all of them, but not necessarily get the box that they came in. So they bought them separately, and quite honestly, at the time when Hysteria was first released, if you bought all 6 exclusives on their own on the secondary market, more than likely you paid more than what you would have bought the box set for. I mean, there are several documented instances where people have bought the set, stripped it out, and sold it piece by piece and made money off of the set. So that one's not US, but what the hell, I'll go ahead and show it. So this is a German copy from 2019. It's a flat jacket. It's got a German logo printed. The gatefold pictures are different from the Dynasty era. Got red text instead of black inside the gatefold. It's got the little mini Platinum Award. And if you look closely, there's German logos on it. Also a track list sticker. Now this came on the shrink wrap. I pulled it off of the shrink wrap. I put it on the jacket. You know, just for continuity purposes. Unfortunately, the Kisteria version did not get a track list sticker. All right. We were reissued on a German Filmworks label. It's got the German logo, or it's a German double platinum label. It's got the German logo on it. And then that's a silver metallic vinyl. So it does have a little bit of a metallic look to it, and it has a little bit of a liquid look to it. You can kind of see the little rolls and stuff in there. So this is a pretty nicely done set. It's better than what we got in the U.S. My ideal copy of Double Platinum, if they were to do a colored vinyl set, it would basically be a picture disc. So we know how picture discs are made. You've got the blank in the middle that has the pictures on them, and then it's got a clear piece of vinyl pressed over top of them. My ideal copy of Double Platinum would have that clear piece of vinyl pressed over top of like aluminum foil or something that's shiny like the jacket. So, but what we got instead is we got two different picture disc versions. It came with the same insert as the 2014. You got different hype stickers, which I'll go ahead and pull my little disc keeper with the inserts out. All right, so this is the standard edition. You got a black hype sticker, and then this UPC sticker was also on the shrink. I took them off and placed them on my disc keeper here with the insert. That's usually what I try to do with hype stickers and such is I'll put them on the disc keeper. If I have an insert to put into a disc keeper, that's the one I'll put the stickers on. If I don't, then I just put it on whichever one I've got the record with. Plain white inner sleeves, as you just saw. And now the standard edition picture disc was this image on all four sides. So unfortunately, they did not mark the sides. There is no A, B, or whatever printed anywhere. There's no rim text at all on these discs. So if you want to play side one, you have to look at the dead wax and see where it says LP01-A or -B. That's the only way you'll know what side you're dropping the needle on. So that's kind of an oversight, I think. But, you know, most people probably don't play picture discs. I mean, there's a stigma that they sound bad. I think the technology is better today than they were of years before. And they do sound better than they used to, but most aren't going to play them. And yeah, I was looking at sides 3 and 4 there just to make sure there's none marked, and none of them are. So, but yeah, the same image on all four sides. That's your standard edition picture disc. And then we have a deluxe picture disc. And these are the same jackets that they used in 2014. Same Platinum Award. So for the deluxe, we got a silver hype sticker and then a different UPC sticker on the shrink. And then for the vinyl, we have, I'm just going to hold one up here, but I'll put all 4 images up. We have 1 member per side. And these are also not marked as to what side they are. But if you follow the order in the gatefold, it's Gene first, and then Paul, then Peter, then Ace. So that's your 4 sides. So yeah, I mean, we got 2 picture discs for double platinum. I think a silver, a nice silver colored vinyl that can rival that cover a little bit would have been better. I mean, who knows, maybe someday there's still hope. So that takes us through the US versions of the album that I know of. And as I said before, those 2 CRC issues with the wrong gatefolds, those are very hard to find, and one day I'll have one. So now we're on to the 45 that supported double platinum. Only 1 single was released. It was Strutter 78 backed with Shock Me. Shock Me, of course, was not on the album, but the Shock Me on this 45 does sound just a hair different than what was on the Love Gun album. So they remixed it somewhat. I mean, it's not earth-shattering or anything like that, but the single mix for Strutter 78 is completely different from the album. It's got a different vocal take. It's got a different mix. I mean, it's definitely interesting. So here's the promo copy in a Filmworks sleeve. It's on a Filmworks label. Notice up the top right, it says promotional copy, not for sale. Now I want you to train your eye underneath Strutter 78, where it says 1978 Casablanca Record and Filmworks Incorporated. Notice there's just a little P inside a circle. You know, that's some kind of copyright symbol. So here's your mono side. And here's your stereo side. You got the same P 1978 Casablanca Record and Filmworks Incorporated. So what I'm going to show you next is another promo copy. So here's the mono side. Again, promotional copy, not for sale, up on the right side. Now, if you look underneath Strutter 78, it says PC 1978. So there's your mono side. And then your stereo side, also PC 1978. There's a little bit of a variation for the promotional copy for you. Now getting into the retail copies, you're going to notice that this one is on a camel label. As you can see, it does not say Record and Film Works at the top, and there's no film crew on the label. That camel label was done well before 1978, but I guess the pressing plant still had some blanks to get rid of. So there's a few titles on these 45s that were wrongly pressed on a camel label. You had Christine 16. You had Strutter 78 and Shock Me. Then you had Paul's solo 45, Peter's solo 45, and Ace's solo 45. So yep, there's your camel label, your Strutter side there. And there's your Shock Me side. So that's a neat little error to have. And those titles that I named off are varying degrees of rare. Ace's 45 seems to be pretty common. Christine 16 is real common, but the rest of them hit and miss, with Peter's being just damn near impossible to find. All right. Now we're on a Filmworks label. There's the Strutter side, and note again down below it says P 1978 for copyright. Then Shock Me, same, P 1978. 1977, I'm sorry. And it also lists Shock Me being from a Live 2. It's not. It's the studio track. Then another retail copy on a Filmworks label. So there's your Strutter side. You note the P it's just a P, 1978, but I'll throw the other one up here in a second, and you'll note that one of them, there's an extra space between the P and the 1978. So that one's kind of splitting hairs, but there's the Shock Me side. Same thing. And then while I'm putting it up, here's the two of them together. So you can see that there's a difference in the distance between the P and 1978. And damn it, I just dropped the 45. Think I'd be kind of comfortable handling these things by now. I'll run that through the spin clean here in a little bit. And another retail 45. So here's the Strutter side. Now you can notice that there is a PC 1978. Same with the Shock Me side, PC 1977. And then the singles box set was reissued in 2012. Reissued the singles catalog from 73 to 82, or 74 to 82. And then they grabbed some picture sleeves from around the world to use, because the U.S. didn't originally use a bunch of picture sleeves. So here's the picture sleeve they used for Strutter 78 and Shock Me. And this is German. as you can see by the back cover here. And ignore the herd of elephants there. It's my cat. Is reissued on a Filmworks label. So there's your Strutter side. And your Shock Me side. These were only available with the set. None of these 45s were available at retail. So if you bought them separate from the set, then you bought them on the secondary market. And the set was done on CD and vinyl, and I recommend, if you have a chance, of getting one or both. So with that, Double Platinum is finished. Not a whole lot of stuff, but I mean, there's some variations there, including a couple of really tough ones. So I thank you as always for watching, and I will see you the next time around.